Hey, thanks for tuning in. I'm glad you're here. I'm Jimmy. I'm making it work. We're fixing to spend a day in the shop. Of course, I got to get it open first. Hope you're doing well. Everyone seems to be getting a lot of rain on the East Coast, and we are no exception. Lots of rain lately. It's catching us up. We were really running dry. So, oh, there's a whole family of bunnies out in the grass. I don't know if you can see them out there, but cute little guys. I'll take some home and make them a pet. What are we going to do today? I'm suspecting we're going to be finishing up the Ferrari. Some parts are coming in for that 69 Cutlass to fix the blower so it works on all 4 speeds. We're going to do relay, switch, and rewiring if we need to. I got to get in the dash and see exactly how it's wired and alter that. I'm not sure how long that'll take or how big of a job, but we'll see. Not sure if we'll get to it today. The Escalade, I think she's going to do the radiator. And she declined all the rest of it. It's got some bald tires and stuff. And then we got the Escape waiting here for Car Shield still. It's been 3 days now. But if you're looking for something to happen really fast, Car Shield's definitely not the way to go. If they cover it at all, it'll take a while. So, let's finish getting this place open up, learn a thing or two, and have some fun. What do you say? It's only about 73 degrees this morning, nice and cool. Interesting. It's gonna rain, I know, but we'll see what else we can get done in the shop. I think we're gonna have a good day. Let's do it. Stay tuned. Racetrack screwed me, gave me a defective lid. What the heck? We got a Honda to look at real quick. It's in the proper color, of course. 2012 at 153,000 miles. Got some pesky lights on the dash, apparently. I don't see any lights on right now, but they said something about it went to 2,000 RPM and some lights came on, and it's very concerning. So we're gonna take a look and see why those lights came on. I gotta find my connector. It's in here somewhere, trust me. It's all part of the show. Oh, there, something's happening. Something is happening. There it is. Let's get the K8 hooked up and see what is the word. Asian. Honda. Surprised there's even a spot for Honda in there. They don't ever break. I got another Honda after this one too. A 2002 Honda Civic. Someone looked at, did an oil change on yesterday. They sold axles, tires, stuff like that. So we'll be doing that next, I think. Boss's Ferrari's gonna have to wait. Tough cookies, boss. Bill's off tomorrow, so they're warning me about how busy I'm gonna be. Well, if I'm mounting tires and stuff, I'm not gonna be too busy. I don't rush tires. You guys know I'm old, and it pays 0.2 to mount and balance a tire. The little Honda Civic tires won't be bad though. I can handle it. Someone told me that it was impressive that I even still do tires. I'm old, but I'm not that old. Cut me some slack. But yeah, it's not a productive thing. You know, I don't make any money doing them. It pays an hour to do 4 tires, mount and balance and all that, and it'll take an hour. In the same hour, I can do the 2 axles that pay 2 hours. Just the nature of the beast, I guess. Let's go ahead, stop flapping, get these, I got my little camera thing over here. I guess I could put it anywhere I want, right? Put it up there. Oh, put it over here. Oh, doesn't, it has to be on the side, I guess. So we'll put it in the middle of where these things go. I'll figure out how to take it off the screen if I want later on. And some of you guys too on this scan tool, I might add this to the footage for the video. There's more stuff going on up here, like the volume and the brightness. Which about halfway is good to me. You can take picoratures, you can turn things sideways and straight up and down. I guess this is for cropping of some sort, your Wi-Fi and all that kind of thing. When you're done, there's also stuff off to the side. So, you know, like mostly if you're in graphing mode and things like that, you can open up the side screen and it lets you make choices there too. So pretty cool little tool so far from what I'm seeing. Very similar to a couple of the other ones I have. They're all using very similar software, and I forget if it's Launch or Autel. One of you guys might know. The software is very familiar though, and I'm trying to think of the other brand of scan tools I have that use the same software. Wasting time while this thing works. Enough flapping. We'll come back once these two are done shaking hands. All right, report is sent. Look at that. We got a P0339, crank sensor circuit intermittent interruption. PCM malfunction, engine computer in the ABS, which is probably because of that one. We're going to go in there and take a look. Right now, obviously, it's not doing it. They said the engine fluctuated, went to 2,000 RPM, the lights came on. What probably happened is it intermittently is losing a crank signal and then keeping the engine running on the cam sensor, but it won't run nearly as well. It's kind of in a limp mode thing. That's what I'm assuming. I haven't looked at the theory of operation or any of that yet, but we will check on this code, see what the common faults are, and do a little diagnosis work on it. Data stream, we're going to bring up anything to do with engine speed and maybe a couple of things that don't even have to do with engine speed. If we can find cam and crank sensor data, it'd be even better. We can see if one drops out before the other, see if the problem happens again. Crank no pulse, crank noise, crank learn, cam no pulse, cam noise, to see if there's any more that will be useful for us. Engine speed. And we'll put it on graph. They'll be all small graphs. If I combine them, I'll only get 4. So I'm just going to leave this on graphing mode, let it run a few minutes and see if something happens. Well, I go into Identifix, look up a P0339, help me narrow my search window, and save a little bit of time in my diag. Well, that is not good. That's noise on the crank sensor. There's 2 ways this code sets as 339. With no circuit codes for the crank sensor, is be a different code. If the starter is bad and cranks the engine erratically, then it'll set a crank sensor code. Or if the crank sensor is bad, there are some cases where the PCM is causing a problem, but it's really rare. So if I bring this off idle, now it's at 2,000 RPM, and you'll see the noise is gone. As soon as you let it idle again, the noise comes back. Matter of fact, that did that while it was at speed. Let's try that again. That's 2,000 RPM. So what's happening is it does it a lot more at idle than it does at higher speeds, and her problem's at idle. I think we're gonna end up putting a crank sensor in this, only because it's not too hard to do, not expensive, and the time involved to hook up a scope and do all the really impressive stuff is way more expensive. And since it's such a high failure item, it seems to be the way they want to go from the discussion we had up front. I wanted to get access to it and hook my scope up and show you guys that, but apparently we don't want to do that. So we're going to do what we have to do, and I think we'll be okay putting one in there. That's what I would do if it was my car. I would put one in there and see how it went. Look at that. And the reason she got a VSC and a check engine light is because of that. It's the VSC system saying, hey man, the PCM is being really weird, so you might want to check it out. That's all that light means. So, and it's got bad tires and a bad lower ball joint on the left side and wipers and some stuff like that. So we'll see if we go any further with this. I got to get that other little Honda. I think I'm going to put it in the first base since no one's using it, and I'll start playing with that a little bit. I really would like to get the Ferrari done out of my bay too, but we'll see what happens. They got to let me work on it first. Also notice that lower purple line, that is the cam sensor. Zero noise. You never see any noise coming from that. So I'm going to clear the codes while we're in here, so if she does want to fix it, that part will be done. I can pull my scanner out of it for now. Let's clear them all, and then we'll come back to it. Well, that last Honda got a love rating of 4. This one's not going to be quite so generous. This one's going to get a 3. And that's not as bad as it might look. I mean, a styrofoam cooler, you got to have cold drinks. I can't fault them for that. The mirror needs a little bit of love, but we're not concerned with that today. Car's showing some damage. It's had a hard life. It's got 200,000 miles on this 2002. Look at this thing. It's ready for the road. You got clothes, you got refrigerator, you got drinks, you got reading literature, medications. You don't really need much of anything else, except maybe to keep your bumper and fender on while you're going down the road. But we're fixing some stuff on it. It's got new struts in the front. I think we're doing axles and tires. I think there's a couple other little things on here. We got some quality Napper axles made in China. And I think we're doing an oil pan gasket apparently, because they had this over there in the parts section. So I think they said oil pan gasket and a recheck for oil leaks. Man, them tires have seen some use. This thing is in alignment real bad. It's got to be towed in like mad. And the wheel liner, that's a separate issue. I got to keep myself from fixing too much stuff, because it's going to turn this 3-hour ticket into a bigger ticket if I keep fixing everything I see. Oh yeah, we got some oil leaks for sure. Got torn booties on the ball jointers, and this ball joint was replaced at some point, and it's not pressed in all the way, but that's declined. It is on the estimato. I don't see any play in them, luckily. That's the good news. All the tension's up in the spring up to the knuckle, so if this ball joint was bad, you could literally just wiggle the A-arm. You can use pliers and squeeze it. I checked them. They don't have any play. So we're gonna do some axles. I got the exhaust soaking so we can try to get it to come loose. It looks like you can get to the bolts if you have to. We'll see. See if we have to. I don't think that oil pan's too hard to get out once the exhaust is out of the way, and this bracket's got a series of 14mm bolts, and I think the mount goes to it in the back here. Just a shifter cable cover. Let's get to work. Got some reusable cotter pins. Don't hit yourself in the face with the light. Look at those suckers. Not incredibly tight. I'm gonna get my gear wrench puller pusher set. Push this out without hammering it. The boot's already destroyed, but I don't want to make it even worse. One nice thing about having them not tighten very much, they come off easier. Ooh, doggy. It takes a little bit of tension to turn them lower arm bushings. Look like they've been replaced. So they're in good shape. I gotta get this axle out of here. Hey, don't mess with me like that, will you? Only pays 0.9 per axle, so they should be pretty easy, I'm guessing. Yeah, it is pretty easy. Drain pan just in case some tranny fluid comes out of there. Give them a pop, see what happens. Up here, man, pay attention. It's up here. Not gonna fall into a hole. This lifts a little on, but that sure popped out of there easier than I thought it would. Axle. Alright, now, since the end of this axle, it has like a 1/4 inch without threads. I can show it a little love with this. If the threads came all the way to the end, I'd get my rubber coated dead blow. Also, if you've seen me put other axles in, you always got to be careful of that seal in the transmission. So I guide it up very carefully and precisely without catching the seal. If you just bump into that seal, sometimes you'll knock the spring out of it or rip it. You gotta be real easy on that part. You hear the sound of the hammer change, and then you can visually visualize it. And that way you know you conceptualized the correct pasteurization of that axle installation. Oh boy. There's some tension on that. I might have to loosen these bolts. I gotta lower it down to get more leverage, I know that. I think if I move my pry bar back, I was too close to the subframe. I think that was binding it up. Let's try that first. Now, this can slip. You gotta be really careful with your face, your fingers, all that cool stuff. Right up there. Yeah. That's a little better. Ta-da! I gotta tighten up a couple of my nuts. I'm gonna put the other axle in. Same process on the other side. We'll start in that oil pan, I guess. Got the drain over here already, might as well. I apologize to my northern viewers once again. I don't do it on purpose. 23-year-old car, lived its whole life in the South. And this is a combination of 14s, I think, and a couple 12s. You gotta be careful not to step in these holes. Luckily, you kind of bump into the lift, kind of, about the same time. You don't use this style lift a lot. You got to really stay sharp. Now I got to get some 10s. I don't think you have to touch the shifter cable, but I do remember taking the covers and everything out of the way. Maybe. It's been a little while since I did one. These are the two pieces for that shifter guard. So I just put that smaller one, goes back up first. It might not matter, but that's the order I took them out, so I stack them like a stack attack. I do think that shifter cable might be in my way, so I think that comes out pretty easy with it. I think that 10 locks it onto a shaft. There's all kinds of fluids coming out of places. Clean some parts, then we'll come back and pull the pan off. That little 10mm there, get that cable out of the way and get this splash shield out of the way, and you'll feel like a winner. Everybody wants to feel like a winner, a whiner, winner. It's all in the pronunciation. Not a very long bolt, but it is a very important one because the car don't go anywhere without it. And that bolt's not tight. That's why it was wiggling but wouldn't come out. There was a bolt in there that was loose. We'll have to remember to tighten it this time. Got another part to wash, but I'll wait till we do the oil pan this time. Maybe get a 17, get some Earl out of there. Brand new oil, that's alright. I'll get an extra oil change, that's all. A lot of dirt, grime, and various other stuff going on in there. It's a mess, that's what I'm saying. So we do what we can to find all the bolts. Some of these are nuts, some of them are bolts. Kind of a good thing. The studs help guide everything back together. So finish getting these out of here. We'll come back in a second. There's about 25 of them. You don't want to watch that. It's boring, isn't it? I'll speed it up. Nasty. Miss Janet, if you're nasty or something like that. Having the bolts loose doesn't really help either.
What is our Snap-on guy's name?
One strong cable. It's not going to let me sneak it past the cable. Interesting. Doesn't look bad for a 200,000 mile engine. Doesn't look too bad. This thin, I have a whole set. There's gear wrench gasket scrapers. This is the narrow one, which is perfect for getting in between these studs. And you see how there's a little metal ring around here? This can cause you trouble. You got to make sure you get all those off the studs. Otherwise, you're going to have two spacers on the floor. I mean, on the gasket. Gravity check! So, there's another one on here. So I'll go around this thing twice. Make sure I got them all off. With assorted tools as needed. Little troublemaker. You get it all done, it'll be leaking. That would be sweet. Not that these are hard, but who wants to do it twice? Well, this gasket is basically plastic now, so I parts washed it. Might have to go through it again once I break this off of here in chunks. Maybe it'll come off in whole, but I don't think so. See what I'm saying? This thing is literally plastic. It's supposed to be rubber. I think I'm gonna get a small hammer. I'm gonna get a small hammer and just chip at it for 20-30 minutes, and then we'll come back. I don't want to use any kind of grinder because you see these little nipples in here that keep the gasket from squishing out when you tighten the screws. So you got to chisel everything out from around all these little nipples in here. Again, edge of your seat riveting entertainment on this channel. But we'll come back once I hack at this a while. You get the idea. It looks like fun. You got it. Well, as much as I don't like using those green sanding discs on my angle grinders, sometimes you don't have a choice. I don't know if the plastic glued itself to the pan or if someone had glued it to the pan, but it took a solid 45 minutes, maybe an hour. I went through 3 batteries in my angle grinder and 2 of those green sanding discs to get that pan cleared off. So now I'm going to put some RTV in these joints, clean this up a little bit, and there's one here, and then one on either side of these studs, and a little more cleanup work. Put that thing back up finally. I don't even know what they charge to do the work, but it's going to end up being about a 2-hour job just because of cleaning the gasket part of it. It's not hard, but it's one of those unforeseen things we deal with. Got my RTV up here. That gasket kind of puts itself in the right place. If I get it all up on the studs, the bolts all line up, it'll be in good shape. The only thing I'm not terribly crazy about is the way the front fits a little bit. And the AC continues dripping on my head. The car's been on the lift for 2.5 hours, but that's alright. I'm used to it. Give me the bolt. There you go. One on each side. I don't want to let this release off the RTV. I want to try to get it. Where I let it relax. A few more bolts and nuts and we'll be good to go. We'll be on to the next rodeo. Alright, now we need to have a torque. How you doing? Ferrari without an exhaust went by, and I caught the last 1/10 of a second out of a 12-second blast by here, going about 160 miles an hour. I love these things. Now I start putting all this stuff back together, and I'm going to get a few of those things in there. Heat shield's up already. That's the same car going by, but he's not going fast this time. A few more aluminum braces and some tires. A little bit of engine oil. I think the tires are here too, but I'll probably just map those real quick. No TPMS sensors in these, so there's a little busted on. No good mechanic leaves stickers on the tires. You guys might know that. Soap's kind of hurting. There's a lot of things around here. That's what we're looking for, double aught. Gonna put a little oil in this thing, drive it over the alignment rack, see if they're done with whatever that. A lot of the guys like to use the alignment rack for AC checks. I don't understand it, but hey, if they're done, I'll move it. That's all I'm saying. I think everyone's at lunch now, but I'll take lunch eventually too. This lift does the 2 scissor thing. I'm just saying, whatever makes you happy, man, that's alright. I'm down with whatever. This lift's kind of weird too. You put it down and it goes down to about a foot off the ground, and then you push the lock button to go down the rest of the way. It wants to know if you're sure, and if you have them yellow things, then it gives you a chance to realize you got them extended. Believe that? That's perfect. I'm guessing we're gonna have about 3 or 4 degrees of toe in. Might be more. You can see it by eye, it's pretty bad, but the tire wear nails it for you. That's the part where it wants you to do an alignment before it'll let you do an alignment. 18 or 19. I just brought them all. Saved myself a trip. That's all. Oh, that might even be a 17. I love the double-ended wrenches. Did I mention that before? You set this rear toe. There's no adjustment for the rear camber. It's just out of scope. You can get, I believe, adjustable upper arms for these if you really want to get cray-cray. If you really want to get crazy. I want to go in. This might be overkill, but now that that's green, get this out of the way so I don't punch it. I don't want it to think I'm mad at it, so hey, my front delts are actually sore working on that Ferrari. I did so many push-ups in a day. Man, this might not even clear. I might have to get a normal wrench. Well, I gotta turn it that way on this side. Okay, let's try it. Anything to save a trip back to the toolbox. Oh, so close. Don't make me go back to the toolbox, man. Woohoo, boy. Winner, winner, Longhorn dinner. You guys have a Longhorn near you? It's my favorite restaurant. I mean, Ruth Chris is my favorite restaurant. But Ruth Chris is 3 times as much money as Longhorn. And I don't think it's 3 times better. It is better. I gotta be frugal with my money, especially nowadays. Front axle next. Now, the toe is way up there. Well, maybe you can see it better from here. Way up there in the strut. So, I loosened the strut bolts. The camber was almost 2 degrees. I got it down to 0.8 of a degree. That's probably all I can do without buying special stuff. Let me shorten this from here. It's easier to see through the engine compartment than it is outside because the lift's in the way. You gotta go like that. So I cut the toe in half so far. Got a ways to go.
I gotta do both sides, so. Oh, now we're getting somewhere. You see that needle start moving?
I'm multitasking here, but my enormous talent to operate the camera in the studio setting while adjusting my nuts and bolts. Hope you appreciate the immense talent. If you haven't subscribed yet, what's the deal? I mean, we're just about vice grip garage level here. It's getting crazy on this channel. And we even tighten everything down and stuff. I'm going to do the right front. Then we'll let it back down to ride height where it's perfectly level. And see what happens to that camber. It's not that bad. We cut it, it's less than half what it was before. So if we can save them some money, I think that's our goal. He even keeps the air going when it's not hooked to a wheel. He loves the sound of that air rush. That's funny. You see the camber's right on the edge of the specification. And the back is just a couple tenths. It's not going to hurt anything. And she'd have to buy a camber kit and a really expensive camber kit for the back to get it all perfectly green. We were at almost 2 degrees of positive camber and 4 degrees of toe in. So her tires will be fine now. Everyone should be happy. I'm going to take it for a drive, make sure it's good to go. Fast and furious, bruh. You guys remember the smoke, the rolling ashtray with the rusty exhaust from last week? We're back to do the exhaust. We got all new pots. Hopefully we got them all, nothing's missing. Doesn't have any exhaust from here back now anyway, so the worst that'll happen is it'll leave just as noisy as it is right now. Let's get this thing up in the air, drag our parts out here and see what we got. Now that's quite the contraption. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hangers. I think it only uses 2 of them. One's probably for a pipe or something. And then here we got a box of pipes, a box of stuff. We got clamps, all kinds of goodies in here. I think this is a cat. Yep. I hope the O2s come out of the old stuff, because I don't think we're doing those. Hey, so Jimmy, make it work. Do your thing. Everything looks okay. If it's the right lengths, it's the right stuff. I think the plan is he's going to try to get that the 2-bolt flange. That's Magnaflow. This is OEM. So I think the plan is to get the flange that fits the Magnaflow pipe, because it's easier than finding this monstrosity. And then we're going to cut it off and weld a 2-bolt flange on there. That's got to be in the same position. So I have to figure that out. I'll tack it in place, take the muffler back out of the car and weld it. And it'll look exactly like this weld probably. In the meantime, let me see if I can get these O2s to break loose. See if these bolts will come loose. I'm assuming that he'll find something. I don't know. What do you think? Should I wait? Oh man, I did not really think it was going to go that easy. This one, I gotta pay attention to where my hand's going when I push. Sometimes you tighten it and loosen it a few times instead of forcing it. I can feel the threads are not terribly happy. So I'm gonna work some PB Blaster, or what I have now, Deep Creep. Deep Creep, and we'll keep going in with this and working it back and forth. And Jace is going to help me with tires. We're mounting 4 tires on this car too, which they weren't emergency level, but they're just about touching inspection bars, like 4/32. So and they do cool stuff too, like the connectors up in the car. It's not outside the car, it's out of the weather that way. So you guys know what I do. I pull the wiring out, and I got plenty of room to turn this 4 or 5 times, get it out of the pipe. No connectors needed to be disconnected. Unscrew, and I'll go like this when I screw it in. If you didn't see my other exhaust video, I put cats in a Transit recently. Now I turn it in. Easy. Same thing in the back. Honestly, I didn't think they were going to come out. I find that my nuts come loose easier if I get some of this rust out of the threads. Get a power tool if I really need to. I'm hoping if these break that there's a stud above. I might have to take the heat shields out of the way, or bend them, or cut them out of the way. I'll take a torch and cut around here if I need to. Last resort. Let's hope they come loose. They won't have to do any of that. They don't look too bad. I'm sure you guys see a lot worse. So, let's see. That one had rusted down to a 17, where the other one was an 18. That's all right. We'll dance. You guys know I have half sizes too, right? Because I got everything. Almost. I'm not trying to brag, but I am trying to say I'm really happy that it came apart. Nothing broke. We're not done yet, don't brag too much, but still got good threads up where it matters the most. I got 117 and 118. I don't know if they were changed at some point or what. And get this out of the rubber hanger. We'll start putting the new stuff in. The pipe he's got will probably be way easier to find, like I said, so we'll be changing that one. But I can put all the rest of it in. Yeah, mismatch, by the way, if you're going to do this kind of thing, Magnaflow, get the Magnaflow muffler. It'll sound really cool. I hope that she doesn't mind if it sounds like a little bit of a performance sound, but if we mod that factory muffler to work with the Magnaflow pipes, then it'll sound nice and quiet. I don't use this tool often. Sometimes it's more hassle than it's worth, but this ought to work perfectly since I got a little lubrication on it. Been sitting a while. Let me set you someplace safe where I can use two hands so the pipe doesn't fall and smash me in the shin. Not that it's ever happened before, but I've heard it could. I'm gonna turn you over. I'm gonna edit you so you're not upside down and stuff. Don't worry. I don't want anyone getting dizzy on this show. Come on now. Don't get too crazy. Oh, are you kidding me? I should do this for a living. Make videos, I mean. Someone was saying these were factory pipes, but I'm here to tell you they're not. So, these are not factory welds. Alright, carry on. Uh-oh. That hanger's not in the same place either. We'll work it out, don't worry. Got a new gasket. I think I can twist this hanger. Twist it into a pretzel, it's fine. You have the special custom wiper installation.
Look at this, kid. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 6 fucking adapters.
It shows you how they make them for like, there's like 20 of them things are like 4 cents. They just throw them all in the package whether you need them or not. Yeah. Alright. Now the reason I turned the camera on wasn't to interact with Bill about wipers. I turned the camera on to show you the fire we're putting out because someone might die if they don't get the car back tonight. So I've cut the flange off. You don't believe me? The muffler is for the 2022, but the exhaust kit is for a 2011. But we're gonna make it work. That's what we do around here. So, this is the plan.
For my short-lived time over there.
Get on the bus, Gus. Don't need to discuss much.
Alright, send that over to
Drop off the key, leave,
We're not answering, so
and set yourself free.
Marcus will send over.
I wish I had a way to plug the welder in over here, but since I don't, I'm going to rely on Sharpie marks. And worst case scenario, you get the torch, tweak the pipe a little bit, and you're fine. And Bill will be happy and everyone will like it. Now, I line up all my Sharpie lines with the same gap. Should be good, which I basically have no gap. I'm going to add a tiny bit so I have a cushion. I think it'll be good. I'm going to attack it from the inside.
Anything, huh?
Yep.
Nice.
Heck yeah. Uh-oh. Might need a tip on the welder. Now something's not working on the welder, that's cool. And it took a little bit of battling, but we got it. In a perfect world, I'd attacked it, made sure everything fit, and then finished welding it. But since our 220 outlets on the other side of the shop, we used a Sharpie method. It's close.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, you can just drop them right here. That's fine.
Thank you, sign. Where I go? Not up here. Thank you.
You too. Uh-oh. Don't worry, we got something for that. Another episode of Making It Work. I'm going to tighten the clamp to this rear pipe. I needed to make sure it had just a little bit of give so I could line all this up. You can hardly tell the difference between my weld and the machine weld, except by the really bad spots. The welder was just jumping and jumping. I looked, we didn't have any more tips, so I cleaned the tip a little bit with a tiny drill and made it work. I just had to keep the welder quite far away so it wouldn't hang up in the tip. It needs a new tip. That's what happens. So I also had to, this was bundled up here and tie wrap to that. So I had to tie wrap it so it won't touch the exhaust. So it's a little close to this, but it's not touching. This doesn't move and this doesn't move. This is all stationary, has an independent rear suspension. So all that's left now is to run this thing a bit, check it for leaks, and call it done. Well, oh man, you heard that thing? No, me either. No. All right, this one's done. Whew. Up, Sal.
Nice.
That really makes all that exhaust work. Oh, yeah.
See you on Monday.
See you on Monday, man. Enjoy your weekend. Man, the Snap-on guy was here today. He got some deals. Don't miss out. The quarter drive ratchet, 650 bucks, but it's a long reach one. You buy the one socket set for 355, you get the other one, buy one get one. Okay. Yeah. Scan and scope. They make Snap-on's got the best scanners in the business, I think. Just because the scope's in them and the high-end ones, and but the problem is they're about 3 or 4 times more expensive than they should be. I've said that before, probably once or twice, you might have heard. Quick peruse through the Snap-on catalog. This card done. I gotta take it for a drive. Half the guys have already left. TPMS service required. That light was on when I brought it in. Quick road test. This thing's done. The exhaust came out good. Happy with it. Hope you enjoyed today's video. We'll probably be working on the Ferrari tomorrow. I did not touch it today, but Bill's not going to be here, so we'll be short-handed. I feel like I did 30 hours today, but it's probably closer to 12 or 15. I'm not sure. So thanks for watching, guys. Torque the like button on your way out if you would. I really appreciate that. Maybe check out the Amazon store. I put most of the things that I use in the shop in there. Either way, get in them comments, mix it up. The comments have been a little juicy lately, I noticed. So I appreciate the support. Hope I see another video more than anything now, because you're awesome.